What's going on, guys? This is Miasin and welcome to my Mitsurugi combo video and deck profile post ban list. So this deck changed a little bit because there was no more Fossil Den as well as Earthbearer statue. Apart from that, there was basically just nothing else that really changed. But the deck can still Water Bearer statue your opponent, so that's beautiful. No Fossil Dyna, but it's still the exact same shit. Neither player can special summon water monsters. Merry Christmas unless you're playing Mermail or pure Crystron. It is what it is, you're probably gonna die. But yeah, no, this deck is very fun, and by fun I mean not really fun to play against, but very fun to play with if you consistently draw the nuts and your opponent is playing yummy. You're going to be wiping the floor with your yummy opponents, that is a guarantee, because Murakumo literally solos. But yeah, before we go any further, a friendly reminder, of course, to smash the like and subscribe button. Really motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these, and let's get right into it. So we're playing 3 Armasa, 3 Prayers, 3 Habakiri, 3 Pre-Prep, 3 Extravagance, and 1 Prosperity, so 16 starters in 40 cards. Some people have opted to play less starters and more cards in their deck, but then they brick, so yeah, that's a risk that you gotta take. You can do it if you want to. Like, some people sometimes they say 15 starters is enough, 14 starters is enough, 13, which is ridiculous, by the way. Imagine breaking 15% of the game. Okay, that's not like what 14 starters will do, but still, you're breaking like 10% of the time, which is way too much. It looks like a 90% chance of drawing a good hand is enough, but it really isn't, because it doesn't account for all the times you're getting hand shopped, all the times you're losing the dice roll, etc. You can brick more often when you're getting hand shopped. You know, I wouldn't really call it a brick if you draw like a 1-card starter and 4 non-engine, but it could also be 4 bricks. So that is something to keep in mind. And when I'm saying 16 1-card starters, it doesn't account for the 2-card combos, because there's not that many anyways, but you could theoretically draw Saji with Murakumo or Ritual, or you could also draw Murakumo with Ritual. So yeah, that also makes sense. Or obviously Futsu with Ritual. Or you can draw like Futsu, Murakumo, and Mirror. Yeah, it's not, I mean, it's not the best hand, but it still gets you there. Or you can also draw Ritual and like Night Sword Serpent and Kusanagi. Yeah, that will come up every now and then, where you just randomly play the game and you drew like total garbage. Yeah, I mean, it could happen. But yeah, anyways, apart from that, we're playing obviously one of each of the level 4 monsters. Night Sword Serpent really just gives you extra ceiling, but theoretically you could cut it, and you would still be able to play like a real, you know, Mitsurugi deck. So it's not like it's super needed, but I do like it for the extra push and the ability to make rank 4s. 3 Ashri, Fua, 3 Impulse, as well as a Call by the Grave talent, and 1 of Nibiru that you can search off of Galen Granite. And we are main decking the Great Purification as well as the Magatama. Magatama just got a little worse now that D-Bear is banned, so you can't, it's not like you can really say that Ritual Summon on the opponent's turn really matters as much. So that's one reason why this deck, some people are saying that it got even better post-ban list, and some other people are saying the deck got worse because there's no more Fossil Dynas, so less insta-win. But I would still say that the pros outweighs the con, like the fact that you don't have to deal with D-Bear anymore. That is definitely a great thing for this deck. And yeah, 1 Mirror, which is the brick that you gotta play for pre-prep, but it's a card that is actually worth playing in this deck anyways, because it allows you to Ritual Summon back your monsters from the grave, so obviously all the combos involve Mitsurugi Mirror, even when you're not searching it with pre-prep. Now for the extra deck, we're playing 1 Zeus, 1 Typhon, 1 Golden Shadow, Dragluxion, whatever, with the Harbinger. Harbinger is really interesting. So Dragluxion will search your 7 Tachyon, and then you reveal Ragna 0 to search the Water Bearer statue. And then Harbinger can redirect the attacks to the Water Bearer, to itself, so that your opponent cannot run over the Bearer statue, and then you also search the Great Purification, so that your opponent cannot like break your board. And Harbinger can also negate like the cards that aren't Dark Rule or Droplet, so Regeki, Dark Hole, etc. So yeah, Silent Honor Arc obviously, which you could theoretically Xyz summon, Baguska, Dugaris, so that you can double the attack of Murakumo and then jump over stuff. With 2 Galen Granite, 2 IP, 2 Espilonite, as well as 2 Dynamundo, cards that you're actually summoning. It's just that since we play Extravagance, we just want more copies of everything. But if you don't want to play Extravagance, you can play some other ratios, I don't know, just for more consistency. And for the side deck, I guess you can say this is a real side deck. When Wusu, of course, to just have access to like a searchable kaiju, it always feels good to know that if your opponent summons a monster that is unaffected by card effects, you don't lose game 1 and game 3 by default. And then we're also playing the Bearer statue with 7 Tachyon, of course, 3 Droll, 3 Retangancy, 3 Ghost Bell. And then for the insta-win conditions, 1 Shifter, 1 Anti-Spell, and 1 Solemn Judgment. With that out of the way though, let's get into the combo, shall we? Okay, so combo number 1, all I have is Mitsurugi Prayer, so I'm going to be going Draw Phase, search the Habakiri, and then go Habakiri effect, summon the Saji, and then tribute itself, and then that is going to be searching for the Ritual. Ritual is going to be summoning from the hand. by pitching the Kusanagi as well as Aramasa, recycle back the Futsu, and then search the search the Futsu, recycle back the Ritual, and then activate the Ritual, summon the Murakumo from deck by pitching the Futsu from the hand. Futsu will trigger search the Mirror, so that is obviously one of the reasons why Mirror is really nice. Revive back your Futsu from the grave by tributing the Habakiri and search your Great Purification. Overlay for the Dragluxion, and then search your deck for the 7 Tachyon, and then activate the 7 Tachyon to search the Water Bearer statue, and then effective Dragluxion, summon the Harbinger, and then normal summon the Water Bearer statue. If your opponent would have nibbed you, like before you got to summon the Water Bearer statue, the Murakumo would come back, destroy everything, search prayers, and then you still normal summon the Bearer statue, so you don't really lose anything other than the Harbinger, but you trade the Harbinger for a prayers, and then obviously your opponent doesn't get to summon, I mean, he gets to summon the Nibiru, and you get a token, but you get to destroy the Nibiru when Murakumo comes back, so it doesn't really matter too much. Or you can chain Murakumo to make your opponent discard the Nibiru, and then you don't get a token. So if you want to play around evenly matched, that can make sense, but it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, that's it for combo number 1, very short and sweet. Let's get into combo number 2 now. Okay, so now I have Habakiri, which is not the same combo, because if we don't have to use prayers right away, we can use prayers like late combo, and then achieve a bigger board. So again, the very start of the combo is going to be the exact same thing, where we recycle back the Ritual, summon the Murakumo from deck, tribute the Futsu from hand, search the Mirror. By the way, if you have a pre-preparation of rights, it's the exact same thing as this combo, but you get to search 1 extra Mitsurugi spell and trap. And the reason for that is because you don't have to search the Mirror with the Habakiri or Futsu. Yeah, Futsu, I think. Instead of that, you can just search like Great Purification right away. Since you already have the Mirror, it's just more spells and traps for you, which is obviously always nice. But yeah, Dragluxion, search your 7 Tachyon, overlay into Harbinger, and then prayers, tribute the Murakumo, revive back the Futsu with the prayers, and then Murakumo comes back, and you can also chain block to make sure that you don't lose to like a well-timed Asher Bell. So Mirror shuffle itself back into the deck because a Ritual monster was sent to your grave. I don't know if it was like Ritual or like Mitsurugi monster, whatever, who cares. And then yeah, revive back your Murakumo, and then activate the 7 Tachyon, and then search your deck for the Water Bearer statue, normal summon it, and call it a turn. So it's the same thing as combo number 1, but we're playing way harder into Nibiru because we're triggering the effect of like all of these monsters. And yeah, I mean, like if your opponent nibbed you, it would actually hurt a little bit more since we used the prayers to tribute to the Murakumo. So you wouldn't really have anything. So this is very, very greedy. But if you want to play safer, you can kind of play a little more similar to what we did in combo number 1. There's really just no difference except that we wouldn't end on Futsus. And the Futsu doesn't really change too much because we're not even reviving back like whatever we tribute with a Great Purification anyways. Last but definitely not least, this is the most powerful combo that you can do in the deck. So prayers as well as, let's see, Habakiri. So draw phase, tribute, and then search your deck for Saji, summon the Saji, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. You're going to be searching your deck for Ritual as well as Murakumo, and then activate the Ritual by summoning the Murakumo from the hand by pitching the Aramasa as well as Night Sword Serpent from deck. And then yeah, go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, search the Habakiri as well as revive back the Night Sword Serpent, make the Galen Granite to search Nibiru. And then activate the Habakiri, summon the Kusanagi from deck. You can tribute the Galen Granite there. And then Kusanagi is going to be recycling back the Ritual, which you can use, summon the Futsu from deck, tribute the Murakumo. And then it comes back, searches the Ritual, sorry, the Mirror. And then yeah, Mirror, tribute the Futsu, revive back the Habakiri. Futsu comes back, search the Great Purification, overlay for Dragluxion, search for the 7 Tachyon, and then detach 2, summon the Harbinger. And then activate the 7 Tachyon to search for the Bearer statue, and then place back the useless Ritual monster, normal summon it, and then set the Great Purification. And it is pretty much the same as before, but we also got to end on a Nibiru in hand. And in case you had like an extra push, you would have been able to also end on like an IP Masquerade, even though it doesn't really make any much of a difference because we're ending on what the Water Bearer statue, so we can't even special summon ourselves anyways. This is really only worth it in case your opponent has like Dark Ruler for your board and you don't want to negate it with Great Purification, so I don't really think it's gonna come up too often. And we also end on like a leftover Kusanagi, which we can't tribute with Great Purification since it has to tribute level 5 or higher reptiles. So in the last combo we also had like a spare Futsu, or we could also tribute the Murakumo so that the Futsu can revive back in case the opponent outs the Water Bearer statue. But realistically, it's gonna be borderline impossible to out the Water Bearer statue because your battle phase, you can't really use it, since again, Harbinger redirects attacks to it. So you can't normal summon Gem Knight guard it and then go attack. It's gonna be a little impossible, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So yeah, good luck outing this board. Not a lot of decks can do it. Mermail can definitely do it, but that's about it. And Crystron, of course, because Crystron, best deck. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know, do you think the Water Bear statue is going to be seeing a lot of play in Mitsurugi? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.